Hello everyone and welcome to Tantrum House. I'm Sara.
And I'm her lucky husband, Will, and today's episode marks the start of Season 4 of our show.
Well, first, we want to give a huge thank you to those who supported us on Kickstarter. Ryan will be here next week, and today we'll be going over our top 10 favorite party games.
So we rarely tend to agree on the same board games that we like as far as theme and genre and mechanic, but one thing we have figured out is that we seem to like the same party games. So we thought we would share with you our top 10 party games, starting with number 10,
which is Steam Court. So we're probably a little biased, but we couldn't leave it off the list.
We do feel like it qualifies as, and it covers all the bases and all the criteria for what we think are in a good party game. So first off, it plays with a lot of players.
Yeah, it plays 1 to 12, and it's also very easy to learn.
You can play the game in short rounds or long rounds, which is really nice because players can jump in and out as they want to, which is cool.
It has a lot of player interaction, and it also comes in a small, compact box to make it easy to travel with you to a party.
Yeah, so take it with you. It's easy to teach. It's fun to jump into, and we obviously like Steam Court a lot.
Yeah. Number 9 is Spyfall.
So Spyfall is a game that involves some bluffing. It involves some secret characters. Basically, you're trying to figure out which person doesn't fit amongst the rest of them. It's got lots of fun artwork. It's not hard to teach, although I have run into some issues where people didn't fully understand the game, so make sure you explain the rules well before you do that. It's a cool one that gets people interacting well, and one of the beautiful parts about the game is it's timed, so it doesn't go long. You know how long the rounds are going to be, and it's a cool one to play. It might be a little higher on our list if we had more opportunity to play it. I think that's the big thing. She actually hasn't played Spyfall yet. But it's a super great party game that I know she would enjoy and that we need to get to the table again soon. Number 8, Balderdash.
Balderdash is a favorite of some of our non-gaming family members, so it gets pulled out a lot during the holidays.
That's one of the good things about this game is that it is a mass market game, so when we go to people's houses and they're like, you guys like playing board games, right? Usually we can count on at least that one to be on the shelf, and we enjoy it a lot. There's some bluffing, there's a lot of creativity. It's a fun one.
Number 7 is Dixit.
Dixit is a party game for 3 to 6 players. It's one that's really easy to learn, which is nice. Everybody jumps in. It's kind of a little bit like Apples to Apples, where you look at your cards, you play one based on, and you give a word clue, and then everybody else has to match that card style, and then you kind of vote in order to get points. So there's lots of player interaction. It's an easy and fun one to play.
And the artwork is what really makes this game. It's whimsical, and some of it has a lot of unique things going on, and I think that's a reason that we really like this game.
Number 6, Cash and Guns.
Cash and Guns is definitely a favorite of our 3 boys, mostly because the components are absolutely awesome. Yeah,
you're pointing a bunch of foam guns at each other. You're making a lot of fun, is he going to shoot me or is he not going to shoot me decisions. It's really easy to teach, which is great. I feel like it gets a tiny little bit repetitive after you've played like 2 or 3 rounds, but it is a really good one to pull out once with a group of people because everybody's going to have a fun time playing with their pieces and pointing at each other and having a good time.
Number 5 is Telestrations.
So Telestrations is a game that's a little bit like telephone. You are writing down a phrase, and then you're passing it to the next person in line, and they're drawing a picture to illustrate that phrase. And you can imagine that the further down the line it gets, the more hilarious those illustrations go. We've had a good time playing that game. We've had an even better time probably playing the original Exquisite Corpse game, which is just kind of a make-your-own set. But the Telestration box and all the pieces that go with it are really nice, and we enjoy that part of it.
Yes, we've played with some very large groups before, and we laugh so hard. It just makes it pretty far up on our list.
Number 4, Captain Sonar.
Captain Sonar is a very exciting real-time game of Battleship. And you can play up to 8 players, and I think it does play best the more that you have. And you are in real time back and forth yelling orders to your crew to try and find and sink the other battleship.
Yeah, I don't think that I've ever had a more enjoyable, like, winning scenario than playing this game. Like, some games you win the board game and you're like, yeah, I did pretty good, haha. And you kind of like, you hold in how excited you are. When you win Captain Sonar and you sunk their other ship, like, people freak out. It's fantastic. It is a blast to play and even more fun to win.
Number 3 is Sushi Go.
Okay, so we're getting down to some of those quintessential party games that you just need to keep with you at all times. Sushi Go is great because it's really small and compact. It's got really fun artwork. It's really easy to learn to play. It's a card drafting game. So you're taking a card, passing the rest, getting them from your neighbor, doing the same thing until you've played all the cards. And it's a fun one to teach, and it's easy enough to like learn that I've not had any problems with anybody like not being able to play the game.
Yeah, and I do feel like this is a good one to try and introduce people into board gaming. It's easy enough that they can pick it up, and there are several other games that use the same card drafting mechanic, which then you can introduce more difficult games.
Number 2, Happy Salmon.
Now, Happy Salmon is definitely one of Will's favorite party games. I do enjoy it myself, though. You get a hand of cards, and you have to do actions with other people around the table, and you try and get through all of your actions first.
So the part that I love so much about the game is that I've seen people, I've brought this to like meetings. I actually brought it to a deacon retreat. There's nobody who does not have a good time playing this game. It starts off and nobody, I don't explain the rules very well, so people don't really know what's going on. And then within 2 seconds, everybody is yelling and screaming and running around and laughing. And by the second round of the game, people have lost their voice and they're out of breath. It's super compact. You can take it anywhere. People are just fascinated by like, I unzipped a game and handed it to you. There's really no downside to Happy Salmon. Tell them about the silent version or whatever.
Yeah, after we play 1 or 2 rounds of the loud vocal version, we will play a round where nobody can say anything or make any noises. And people just lose it. They have a hard time playing because they are trying to do the actions and they're trying to get people's attention, and it's just so much fun.
The replayability on it is not so much in that like you want to play it over and over and over again. It's that every time you're with a new group of people, it's a perfect thing to just pull out and say, hey, we're just going to play a quick round. We're going to play a round with Ben, our videographer, right after this.
And the number 1 top 10 party game is Codenames, Pictures, and Words.
Yeah, we cheated. We stuck them both together because we can't really decide which one we like more. If you haven't played this game, we're just going to cut the video, you go buy it, and then you come back. The game it's super fun. It's unique. It creates, it's a team-based game, so you can play with any number of people. Some people get it more than others, but I really rarely come across anybody who doesn't enjoy it. It puts pressure on the people who are willing to have the pressure put on them, and the people that don't want to be in the spotlight can just contribute from the side. It's easy to learn. What else am I leaving out? What else is good about Codenames?
It plays well with people who are gamers and who are not gamers.
That's good. That is true. Yeah, I think if you have not played Codenames, then you just need to go buy that one right now. If you have, then you know how fun it is. And if you can think of another game that's more enjoyable and works better with groups and et cetera than Codenames, let us know because we want to go and play it right now. Thanks for joining us for our top 10 list. Please subscribe and like us and follow us and all those good things. And we'll be back next week with another review.